This is part 2 of my Hurd State Park hike. In part 1 of our hike, we went around the George Dudley Seymour Park, up the little mountain, and down again. And now we're going to go around the perimeter of Hurd State Park along the Connecticut River shoreline and then all the way back to the car. In part 3 of this video, I'm going to move the car a little over and then explore a bunch of the center trails. And I'll wind you around as much as I can so you can see as much as possible. Okay, picking up where we left off. We came in over here, went to George Dudley Seymour. We're coming back out of George Dudley Seymour Park, and now we're gonna hang a left and climb up this hill over here. And we're off. We were already off. Working our way up to the top of that mount right there. Well, mini mount. But don't worry, not going straight up it. We're gonna circle around it. So I think I'll move on and talk about gear in this part of the video. And in finger quotes, budget-friendly gear. I hate it when backpackers talk about budget-friendly gear. There's no budget-friendly gear. I'm going to use rain pants as an example. If you want to buy Frog Tog $10 budget-friendly rain pants, let's say, count on those rain pants ripping out at some point, because they do. So could you be in the Smoky Mountains and lose your rain pants because they rip apart and you're trying to tape them with duct tape, but the duct tape won't sit because it's raining? Yeah, budget-friendly gear is that. And now check it out. We made it to the top. Check out this bald. Ta-da! You could have a picnic up here. How cool is this, right? Let me get you a little closer to the edge. Check out the view. A little closer. All right, let's continue on the trail, which is on the top of this cool rock. And it goes to the left. Oh, butterfly. Look at all the butterflies up here. Oh, barsoom. We're gonna take this first turn here to the left. We're gonna follow it a little ways. This trail connects to George Dudley Seymour Park, where we already covered in part 1, but I thought we'd go as far as the overlook anyway. And this is it. Turn around, let's go back. All right, we're stepping back up on top of Big Bald here. We're gonna turn left. Wait, first we're gonna look at another butterfly. Now we're gonna go left and follow this trail along further. All right, let's go back to talking about those budget-friendly Frog Tog rain pants that cost $10 and weigh 5 or 6 ounces and ripped out and left you freezing, cold, soaking, crying in the Smoky Mountains. Nope. So we go on Amazon, we spend $80, not so budget-friendly, on a pair of 11, 12-ounce Columbia wind and rain pants that are durable, and I have them. They're amazing. They're great. A little bit heavy, but they have an inner mesh lining. When you try to pull on your pants over your shoes catch on it, so you have to either sit down and really work at it for a few minutes and get really frustrated and then end up crying, or you have to take your shoes off. Can you imagine it's muddy on the ground and you're taking your shoes off to put pants on? And okay, so budget-friendly $80, not so budget-friendly. Especially if they're a hassle and heavy. Check out this view. So what do you do next? We upgrade, because we say even that $80 isn't worth it, because if I have to do that every time it rains in the Appalachian Trail. And the next step up is the Patagonia Torrent Shell 3L $150 rain pants with dual zippers on the side so you can easily pull them up over your shoes. They won't snag, and you can open them up for ventilation. And they weigh about 9 or 10 ounces, so even shave 1 or 2 off there. Look at that. This is one of my favorite parts of this whole hike. So is that $150 investment good for you? Or is the weight still too much? You want to go lighter? You want to spend about $100, get some fancy enlightened equipment? Just remember, when you go with those lighter options, they're not nearly as durable. They may not be as breathable. I've heard you sweat out in them. So are you getting really good gear, or are you just buying really expensive frog dogs, basically, where you're just as likely eventually to rip them out, snagging on brush as you go by? What's the difference? I'll tell you what the difference is. About $70 or $80. So to sum it all up, while walking around this giant, awesome boulder, I'm going to say I have yet to find any really good budget-friendly items. If they're budget-friendly, they're either falling apart or they're heavy. And once you're out of that budget-friendly zone, everything is either $100 or $150 or $200. You're just sorting through how comfortable or uncomfortable you want something to be, how durable or how fragile you want something to be. That's the difference between $100 and $200. The more expensive it is, the less durable it is, and the less comfortable it is. Or that's how it feels most of the time when sorting through items based on their weight. And in the end, I tend to choose items that are lightweight but not extremely lightweight. That way they still have some durability to them. And now check this out. We have arrived at a really amazing view of the Connecticut River. I glanced to my left and I happened to see this trail climbing up a rock, so I'm doing it. A little backwards on the trail for a moment. And now I'm heading forward again on the trail over this awesome little bridge. You know me, I love little bridges. And I also love weaving through trees. Working our way down closer to the shoreline. Usually I take a right over here, but holy cow, the trail is flooded out. And it is deep and rocky and just not safe for Puppy to go through. So we're going to explore the grassy... Ducks! Oh, yes, exploring the grassy area leads to ducks. And now that we finished exploring that little green park area with duckas, we've turned around, but instead of taking the flooded out trail, we aimed high. Made a slight detour up the hill here, which has a bridge, and it'll lead us back down toward shore again. Able to film a part of the journey coming down to this meadow on shore because people were walking with an off-leash dog, and when I called out, "Is your dog friendly?" they said no. And they raced after their dog trying to get him under control. And I said, "What are you doing walking with an off-leash dog? Never mind one that's not friendly." And they said, well, we didn't think anyone would be here. I said, it's a public park. Stupid people. That actually was a moronic excuse because there are multiple parking lots here and all of them have 1 or 2 cars in them. So clearly there are people here at this park other than them. See, we're at a parking lot, there's a truck. And it seems to be that way at just about every parking lot. There's 1, 2, or 3 cars at each one. So even though you're not going to run into many people here, you will run into them. But it's such a large space, everyone's pretty spread out. But leash your dog. We're just passing by another parking lot on the left that has 4 more cars in it. What is wrong with people? Leash your dog. And that concludes my public service announcement for the day. So now that we're through with that craziness, let's go back to talking about backpack items, which are not budget friendly. Every single item in my backpack I've evaluated based on the weight, the durability, the comfort, and I don't think if there's a single item in there, I can't think of it right now, that I said, oh, this is budget friendly. When choosing any gear item, I can usually narrow down the list pretty quickly by eliminating that budget friendly, too heavy, not durable, not very functional item. And I can also usually go to the other end of the spectrum of that list and eliminate the ultralight items that are just too flimsy, aren't going to last the whole hike, are uncomfortable. And I can quickly end up with a list of only 2 or maybe 3 items to choose from. As I said, these 2 or 3 items aren't going to be budget friendly, but they're not going to be crazy, super ultralight expensive either. But they will be pricey. Since I didn't find budget-friendly items that worked for me at all, I handled the expense by spreading it out over the course of 2 years, slowly filling my pack. At the beginning of part 1 of this video, we headed up that way. Now we're coming back down. I see the parking lot. Oh, and look, there's cars in it because we're not the only ones here. Imagine that. Steep down. Woohoo! The duck car.